frame. Might have peed a little bit. This marketplace fine. Howdy folks, we are back in the garage again. And as in typical fashion, even though we just started another project on the last video, start another one again. I mean, why not have multiple projects going on? I mean, waiting for parts on that one, start working on this one. I mean, something's got to keep you busy and your bank account dry. Can't take it with you, you know? So, I think I've talked to 4 on here. I don't remember what I did yesterday. But, well, I know I've talked about it, but I don't know how in depth I've got. But the 47 project, it went from burnout truck to I think I said about wanting to make a gasser slash burnout truck. Well, I want to try to make at least one burnout vent this year. So we're going to hold off on the gasser front axle setup. And we're just going to use the G-body front axle. Well, it's not an axle, it's independent front suspension. But the 55 frame that I have sitting right there, it's a 55 Chevy frame pickup with a G-body, like an 85 Monte Carlo or whatever. Front section of frame grafted onto it. It was like that when I bought the truck. We aren't going to use the frame on the truck, so we're going to use the frame on this other truck because it's free and it's decent. I mean, it's free and it's decent. What more could you ask? So, but that's what we're starting on. I went and picked up a motor the other day. Just slapping an LS in it. Cheap, quick, easy. I mean, not dirt cheap anymore, but I mean, yeah, it's cheapest and easiest thing on the market, I think, right now is toss in there without just going typical carbureted small block 350 Chevy route. So yeah, that's what we're getting started on today, is we're going to be working on the motor. Just picked it up the other day. Got a bunch of parts. I got a crap ton of LS parts laying around. Ordered some other parts. We're going to work on getting a cam in it today. We got a cam kit, timing kit, new oil pump, gaskets, whatnot for the front cover. So yeah, let's get to it. All right guys, here she is, 5.3. Early 5.3, like a 99 2000 truck motor, cast block, 862 heads. This one's freshly rebuilt, as you can see. I mean, it even came with paperwork.
He's got documentation.
How could you argue with that? I mean, freshly rebuilt with paperwork. I mean, heck, even gave me the empty can that the rebuild kit came in. Save all the part numbers for the kit, you know? So anyway, as in typical LS swap fashion, just get you a cheap, you know, couple $100 junkyard motor, high mileage truck, and you spend more money than you paid on the engine, and get yourself a nice sloppy choppy cam and toss in it. You know, don't check anything important like cam bearings and cross hatching, and you know, you don't need none of that. It'll be fine. I haven't got fancy aluminum valve covers for it. Shiny, polished. Got them at the swap meet for 20 bucks. I mean, that's like a sore Peter. Can't even beat it. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. Here's my list of parts. The cam is a sloppy cam stage 2. I don't know. Never heard of them. Googled it. Heard what it sounded like. Found this one on the old market web. They're like dirt cheap. So, I mean, that's why I bought it. Got this. I mean, this is a kit right here. If anybody's doing anything timing or cam swap with an LS, I got this kit from Speedway Parts. Fel Pro timing cover gasket set. Comes with a front main seal, water pump gaskets, brand new ARP balancer bolt, and brand new ARP cam bolts. And the whole kit was like $100. Oh yeah, it came with this too. New timing chain and gear. Like I don't even know how they can sell that for $100. I think the gasket set itself's $50 almost if you get it from the parts store. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know what the kit part number is. That's just the gasket part number. But yeah, I just went on Speedway and typed in LS timing cover gasket kit, and this one come up. I'm sure you can find it. All right, a little informational. Again, I ain't no professional on this. This is like my second time putting a cam on one of these, but you know, I can teach you or whoever's watching the things I've learned when swapping the other ones. Other one. How many I've done, I can't remember. I think just one other one. It might have been just a Chevette. But they're very simple. They're very simple engines to work on in general. The first thing you want to get started with is getting everything spun in time before you tear it apart. You want cylinder 1, top dead center. Make sure your timing marks are lined up. And leave your crank in that spot before you tear everything apart. So as you're putting your cam back together, the cam in, all your stuff's lined back up and everything's gonna be in time. You know, because if you ain't in time, she ain't gonna run. So yeah. But that's what we're gonna start with. I gotta take the oil pan off because, I mean, you gotta take it off to get the oil pump out mostly anyway. You can get a little wrench in there. I've changed these before without taking the pan off. And it'll give you the berries. Especially without dropping that bolt down in the pan. Let me bring you in here. Show you that. That's your oil pickup tube. And that's your pan. And it's barely get on that thing. And then refrain from, like that's my finger. Then refrain from dropping that down in the pan. It's pretty hard, especially when it's in the vehicle. But dipstick tube broke on me. There you go, right here. And the other piece fell down in the pan. So we gotta take the pan off to get that out. I got a new gasket. So just make our life a little bit easier. So we're gonna get that taken off. And we'll be back. All right, one quick tip. Don't be like me. What you're gonna wanna do is drain the oil before you unbolt the pan. Idiot! Look.
Ugh. Idiot!
Like there's that little plastic thingy there holding on. And we've made a big mess on the old floor here. Somehow it barely dripped a little bit out. So let me get that drained before I make a big mess. Now we got that catastrophic mess diverted. And go back to pulling stuff apart. I don't know how I forgot to do that. It's like the most important part when taking your oil pan off. You don't want to take the oil out of it. I lose my 10mm already? I literally just had it in my hand. Kidding me? No, I just took it. It was on there. Alright, so let's get this oil pump off. Tell you what, they must have just changed this oil in this motor where they tore it apart or whatever. They didn't tore the truck apart. The truck was rotted. I mean, oil looks minty though. Too shitty. You're gonna want to find your timing marks on here. There's the one on the cam gear. Oh yeah, good thing I got the chain. She's a little loose. Let me get a rag, brake clean.
Good. I like to use it.
And when you do this, you always want to get, some kits don't come with them. You always want to get a new dampener pulley, crank pulley, whatever you want to call it, bolt. They say they're stretch torque to yield style bolts. So you always want to replace it. We're just putting this one back in for engine turning over purposes. What I'm doing now is checking the compression real scientifically, like just put my finger over the spark plug hole. Obviously one of the cylinders had a nice the ring was rust ring for the ridge, rust ridge on the ring. I feel like I'm illiterate sometimes, so just making sure it's still making compression of some sort. So sticking my finger over the hole, rotating it around until it gets compression straight. You can kind of feel. Good. Good. Good.
It's good. It's good.
Get the timing marks lined up. Make sure she's at top dead cylinder number 1. It's 1357. This is your driver's side head. 1357 2468. So you always want to line your timing marks up. I'll show you those here. That's your cam gear timing mark. It's really hard to see on camera, but there's a little dimple in the key crank pulley. You want to get it cylinder 1, top dead center, timing marks lined up. Once you're done there, pull everything off, put the new stuff on with a choppy cam install. Now that we got our timing marks lined up, fine tune the kit. to it. What I always like to do is get your scientific zip tie out. I always take your zip tie just to double check and stick it in the spark plug hole. If the piston's right there, top dead center. That's pretty much how simple it is. Really not much to it. Take that light off. I don't know if it's glaring on the camera there. So yeah. Now you're ready to pull your cam. Lost my 10mm again. Ah, there it is. That's why I use the ugga dugga. It just kind of gives it, knocks them right off. And the cam gear is oriented by a dowel pin. So this is your retaining plate. That off. This is what holds your cam from sliding out of your engine. And it's got a gasket on it as well. We're going to use these little holes for a little trick that I learned while doing these. It's pretty neat. See, on this style engine, you got your cam, and your cam spins, moves lifters, and then the lifters move push rods, and that's what moves your valve train up here yonder on the Chattahoochee. Normally, you got to take, your heads and stuff off of an engine, because once you take the cam out, the lifters just go kerplunk, kerplunk. The nice thing with this is, as you're taking the cam out, these holes, you spin the cam and it'll pop the lifters up. And then you take a wooden dowel rod, stick it in there until it hits the back of the block. Make sure all your lifters are up. And then you can pull the cam out, and then you ain't gotta worry about any of your lifters falling down. You ain't gotta pull the heads, you ain't gonna do nothing. So, if you don't know that trick, I just taught you something new. Pretty nifty. I guess I should add too, I'm jumping ahead, but before you do that, you gotta take your valve train loose and your push rods loose, because the lifters ain't gonna go up if you got your valve springs pushing on the push rods and tension and whatnot. You gotta take all that off too. I was just jumping the gun a little bit. Get that pulled off, and the sucker's clean on the inside. You can check it out. No gunk buildup whatsoever. They change the oil regularly in this sucker. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Yeah, you just take these bolts out. Releases the tension off your push rods. The kit that we got, we're doing valve springs as well, so we got to take all this apart anyway. What I do to change the valve springs with the heads on is you get yourself a compression tester gauge, put an airline fitting on the end, and just put compressed air in the cylinder, and it holds your valves up, so when you take the springs off, they don't fall down in. Another little trick that I learned off the YouTube. And I'll spread that trick on my YouTube. Couple signs of moisture. Bet you the cylinder one that had the ring. I might even cause the ring when I pressure washed the motor the other day. And I let it sit for a couple days. Could have got water in it. Could have been my dumb fault. Alright, so back to what I put 2 bolts in here. Hand thread them back in. It gives you something to grab to and spin it around. I couldn't remember if it was 3/8 or 5/16 dowel rod, so I'm pretty sure it's 5/16. So you spin it until it goes. What you're going to want to do is kind of get an idea of how deep your block is, so you make sure you're deep enough.
That's it, boy. Get in there nice and deep like.
Oh yeah, where's always the back. So that one's good. I like to do is chop them off. Length, get them the hell out of your way. Don't put the sticker side in your engine and get the sticker stuck. It's a good tip. Make sure the whole way's back. Yep. Again. Nip that off. So yeah, cam trick on an LS 5/16 dowel rod in these 2 holes. Once you take your valve train off, give your cam a little spinny spin. Spin it over, jam your dowel rods in. Bang.
Bam! Peanut butter and jam!
Get my gloves on. Put some assembly lube on the new cam. It's pretty tacky stuff. I want to get it on my flanges. This is what I like to use. Lucas oil, assembly lube. Just take it on all your lobes. Do a little dash on each one. This prevents from dryness on startup. You don't want that. And then just kind of take your gloves, get it all worked onto there. Now that's ready to go in. It's like maple syrup. It's good stuff. A little glove wipe. Pull that old one out, slide the new one in. Simple as that. That's how you put a can in. So that one's in. Line up our gear chain. You can pull your dowel rods out now. We won't be needing these for any further job on this project. You're gonna want to save these. They're only $1, but you know, if you do these, you gotta go get them again. You gotta go. I like to save these LS cams too when I change them or get them from other people. Cause I don't know if you can see in the camera here. Oh, come on. They got a hole all the way through, and they like make pretty cool lamp posts. So, you know, good for the metal art side of the gig here. So we're gonna save that for our stash. Next thing we're gonna do, take these bolts back out. My hands are so slippery. We're gonna put our new gear on. There's your dowel pin, and there's your timing mark. Getting ahead of myself again. You're gonna want not to forget to put that retaining plate on. Listen, I ain't as dumb as I look. You get forgetful, you know. Getting old now. In my late 20s. My memory's short. It's easy to forget stuff. Now you should probably replace this. For the application we're doing, I'm not going to. Just because I forgot to order one and I want to get it together. Alright. So we got that cleaned up. I'm gonna get this back on. And then we're gonna put the gear on.
Idiot!
Alright, get my torque gun. Get these torqued to spec. Alright, so I got those torqued down. We're gonna set the new gear right in front of my teeth. Oh. Maybe we put the new gear. What am I missing here? God, I need to just go inside. Idiot.
Oh, idiot.
I think it's my first time. Did you ever have one of those days where just, you act like you gotta really earn everything? Today's one of those days for me. You always want to start your bolts by hand instead of just power starting them and cross threading them. Get the torque wrench back out. And we are torqued. And again, I just did that wrong. Golly.
Are you kidding me?
You gotta put the chain on with it. Sorry, this isn't very informational. Just you guys laughing at me, watching me trying to relearn how to do this. Apparently. But we got the timing marks lined back up. And now we can torque it to spec. A few ooga doogas. I know, you should torque it.
Nice.
Ah. Oh, that's way tighter. Now we're gonna get our oil pump back on.
Good.
Clean up that O-ring surface there. That old gasket's on there. Fresh oil pump. All right. Very nice.
Very nice.
All right, we're back. Got the dipstick tube on. Got the old front timing cover here. This is a different front timing cover than the one that came off the engine. I rebuilt this one too. But the biggest difference is that fitting right there. Planning on, I don't know if it's going to be right off the bat, but at some point I want to turbo this thing. So while we're doing this, we have all this off. We got oil drain for the turbo fitting, 10 AN. Just capped it for now. That way it's there. If and when we will be needing it. I'd like to do it right off the bat, but time and stuff might not be on my side. So if we can at least get it, you know, running and driving, smoking the tires, then we'll worry about turboing it over the winter or something. Just an add-on instead of a main part of the project. I'm just gonna snug that up for now because the oil pan gasket comes onto the front cover here, and you don't want to have this sucked down and then it not seal good on the oil pan mating surface. So you'll put a little right where that gasket ends and meets the oil pan gasket. Put a little dab of silicone. I have another oil pan that I'm putting on just because I don't feel like cleaning that one. This one's painted blue. Got all the dust and debris out of that. She's been sitting around for a minute. Got my new gasket here. GM Genuine. It's actually the cheapest one I found. That's why we went with it. Get this sucker cut open. These are technically reusable, I believe, because they're aluminum rubber O-ring style gasket, but this one's that's on this motor is probably original. So we're gonna replace it. Set that there. I'm gonna get mating surface cleaned off. Sorry about the other part of the video on doing the engine there. My phone died on me, and I didn't realize it, so it just kind of stopped. Well, I stopped to do the oil pan gasket, and then it died. So didn't get the rest of the process, but I mean, really all I did was bolted the oil pan on, and that was pretty much it with that. That was gonna be just about the end of that part of the video, but we did get the engine done, and the only thing you didn't get to see was the shiny valve covers. I'll show you that right now. Finished product of the engine. All right, guys, here it is. A little bit of America.
We're American because you're in America, okay? Greatest country on the planet.
It's a burnout truck. Valve covers they're really dirty. They've just been sitting in here collecting dust. I'll give them the old spit shine polish. But yeah, it's gonna look pretty good. You gotta put the dampener pulley on still, but it's pretty much done, ready to go in the truck. I got headers for it, 2 different kinds. Got shorties and long tubes. Once we get it set in the frame, we'll decipher which ones we're gonna use as far as fitment wise in the frame. That, and if we decide to turbo it right away or not. But yeah, that's how I change the valve springs. Get you a little compression testing fitting, and then thread an airline fitting at the end of it. Thread it in there and just clip your airline on. It holds the valves up while you change the valve spring. Pretty nifty little trick. That's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Got to watch a little bit of motor work. Got to learn how to do a cam swap while I relearned how to do a cam swap, because I was just, she's just giving me the berries. I don't know what happened. But we got it in, got it done. We're gonna be slapping that in the frame soon. in between doing the more framework on that. We're gonna get the motor in the 47. Gonna start bringing the body in on the 47, doing some patchwork. Toss a Lincoln locker in this frame. Burnouts, you don't weld them together, that's all you need. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, see you later.